For the first time since April, the White House Coronavirus Task Force held a news conference Friday in a Trump administration bid to show it's paying attention to a spike in confirmed coronavirus cases. AP's Sager Maghani has details.
There was no White House backdrop, no presidential appearance. Instead, the briefing was held at the Health and Human Services Department, with Vice President Pence having to walk a delicate line in acknowledging a surge.
We now have seen cases begin to rise precipitously across the South.
And noting this is not like the pandemic's early days. The nation's better prepared to handle cases while also reopening the economy.
The reality is we're in a much better place.
But Dr. Anthony Fauci said the nation is facing a serious problem in some areas and reminded Americans to help keep each other safe.
We've got to realize that we are part of the process.
Sager Maghani, Washington.
European Union officials say that American tourists could be banned from traveling to the EU when the continent reopens on July 1st. The New York Times and CNN report that the 27 member states have agreed in principle to bar travelers from several countries, including the United States, because they have not met criteria for controlling the coronavirus. The United States has the world's highest number of coronavirus infections and the highest number of deaths. The infection rate has been increasing in several states in recent days, with spikes in Texas, Florida, Arizona, and California. The ban would be a stinging rebuke to the Trump administration's handling of the coronavirus outbreak. A new meeting on the matter is scheduled for Monday. Facebook says it will begin taking action against political posts that break its rules. AP correspondent Mike Grazia reports.
In a dramatic election year reversal, Facebook has announced it will now flag all newsworthy posts from politicians that break its rules. In a statement on his Facebook page, CEO Mark Zuckerberg wrote, "The policies we're implementing today are designed to address the reality of the challenges our country is facing and how they're showing up across our community." Zuckerberg added that Facebook will begin adding labels to all posts about voting and direct users to authoritative information from state and local election officials. Facebook is also banning false claims intended to discourage voting. I'm Mike Grazia.
U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said Friday the United States was imposing visa restrictions on Chinese Communist Party officials responsible for restricting freedoms in Hong Kong. Pompeo said the restrictions apply to current and former CCP officials who are believed to be responsible for or complicit in undermining Hong Kong's high degree of autonomy. The move comes ahead of a 3-day meeting of China's parliament beginning Sunday that's expected to enact new national security legislation for Hong Kong that has alarmed foreign governments and democracy activists in the territory. Pompeo's announcement also represents the first concrete U.S. step in responding to China's moves. The House of Representatives has approved a bill to make the District of Columbia the 51st state in the United States. But as AP's Ed Donahue reports, the measure is not likely to get past the Republican-controlled Senate.
Delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton says it's finally time for the people in the district to end being subjected to taxation without representation.
D.C. residents have been fighting for voting rights in Congress and local autonomy for 219 years.
Next up, the Senate, where Republicans like Arkansas's Tom Cotton are in the majority. He favors states like Wyoming over a much bigger D.C.
It has 3 times as many workers in mining, logging, and construction, and 10 times as many workers in manufacturing. In other words, Wyoming is a well-rounded, working-class state.
Cotton also criticized Democrats for prioritizing the statehood vote as demonstrations continue in the district. Ed Donahue, Washington.
Anxiety about an increase in coronavirus cases sent stock prices lower on Friday. The Dow Jones Industrials dropped 2.84%. The S&P was down 2.42%. The Nasdaq fell 2.59%.